What up? True. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 15th issue of Why Am I Nerd presents Yo Up Comics, where each and every week we get together to talk all things comics, from old to new, fan theories to what ifs. We've got you covered. I'm Cameron James. With me, as always, the Golden Voice of the podcast, Matt Pereira. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Not too much. I feel like I should have worn a Spider-Man shirt to match up with your Batman
Well,
shirt here.
I have a reason why I'm actually wearing this, besides the fact that he's the best, and besides the fact that we did get the comics today, which I was
It's
super
true.
excited about.
We did get the comics.
It
and I'm
took
pumped to read
3
those.
weeks for the fucking United States Postal Service to deliver these damn comics.
Well, they're going broke, man. They need the help.
What?
So we've got.
It's the Postal Service.
Yeah, you didn't hear about this? They're going out. The Postal Service is legitimately going out of business.
The only comic news I get is from the boys. I mean, they have interesting news.
The boys came out 12 years ago. You know,
I just can't watch news. It's too fucking depressing.
Right, it is super depressing. I deleted my Facebook.
Did you really?
Just the app.
Like I don't even know what's going on. Ant likes that one.
Yeah.
Like with the whole thing with the basketball didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
Like I was like, who?
In protest because of the latest police brutality incident. Yeah.
Right, but I had no idea. I was like, what's happening? And everyone's
So
like,
you're just completely out of
yeah.
touch.
My parents were like, don't you ever watch the news? I'm like, I don't, because it's just there's nothing good that comes out of
So
listening
you're
to
not
the
wrong.
news.
It's like everything on the news is super depressing. Like I never turn on the news and I'm like, oh man, thank God I saw that. I'm always like, fuck.
Like I thought the protest was something that happened like months ago. I didn't realize this happened
this just happened. The Bucks were the first to do it because it happened in their area. I guess it was in Wisconsin. So
it's weird.
Yeah.
There's I don't know, who knows? I mean, this is just a weird fucking year.
This whole year is fucked.
Like there's nothing
whole
positive
year
about
is
this
fucked.
year.
Yeah,
Except
like
this.
nothing-
Why am I Nerd's positive?
Yeah, exactly. Why am I
got
nerd
this.
happened? We've got actually great news. We've got a website coming soon.
We do.
Yeah, so that's got to get built out by yours truly. I'll probably take a poke at that.
Good luck.
At some point this weekend. It's not it's what I do for work, kind of. I optimize websites.
True. I flip
So,
eggs.
yeah.
And
Wait, you flip banks? I'm sorry.
I
wait,
flip
what?
eggs for work.
Oh, you flip eggs?
Yes.
I thought you said banks.
No.
I was like, what do you do?
No.
You just rob banks? This whole time I thought you owned a restaurant, but you
I
rob
do.
banks.
No, I flip eggs. I make chicken feet. I do. Yo, I got a great idea for the next fucking opinions
the
are for
chicken feet
assholes.
weren't even. It's the fact that we were eating chicken feet that made them bad. The sauce you made, the way you cooked them, was actually very good. But the feet themselves, they were
It's the concept
foot
of it.
chickens. And I'm looking at tendons and stuff. You pull one, the little toe.
I didn't cut those.
toe
I didn't
things.
cut the toes off some of them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I cut off any of them.
You didn't cut off anything. You just. did
But the
whatever you
weird
did.
thing is, you're supposed to actually bite the toe so it cracks, so it goes, and then you eat it. It's weird. It's very, very strange. It's very strange. Speaking of food, I want you to try that.
All right, yeah. So
Hershey
what is
Kiss
this? We
thing.
got
I
some
don't-
kind of
just eat it.
We got some
Don't-
kind of special.
don't think about
Hershey
it.
Kiss. Apparently, it's Batman flavored, or maybe Batgirl flavored because it's purple.
Or maybe it's not either of those, but we'll go with that.
All right, let's say it's a vampire.
Oh my god, just eat the damn kiss. It's gross. It's like a weird.
is it,
It's
cherry?
it's like a weird explosion in your mouth. It's like a gusher.
Don't talk about things exploding in my mouth. It makes me uncomfortable.
It's like a
It is like a gusher, though.
It's like a gusher. It's like a
It's
chocolate gusher.
gusher-esque, yeah.
You want to try a chocolate gusher?
Hell no.
Why?
I don't like candy. I like chocolate.
Wait, it is chocolate.
No, I like chocolate, but you said gusher, and I don't
No,
fuck
no,
with
no,
that.
It's chocolate-
that.
It's a chocolate covered cherry.
Nope.
Why?
I don't like cherries either.
I don't either. I tried it.
Nah, I'm good, man.
Hold on, we're gonna hold
If
on.
you didn't tell
hold
me
on.
before, I would have ate
Yeah.
it.
Hold on. We're gonna do it real fast. What's up, everybody? This is Opinions Are for Assholes, where we give you our
Oh,
expert
Jesus
opinion on
Oh my
assholes.
God, you can't just bring yourself out of nowhere.
What?
Sean's not even here. You can't just do it out of nowhere.
That's like, all right, now I have to do it.
Exactly.
So you have to wait until it's actually Opinions Are for Assholes. You can't just spring it on him out of nowhere. Sean has to be here
Wait,
too.
didn't I create this network? So don't I have all the rules?
Jesus Christ.
This reminds
All
me
right.
of the time we took that cherry bomb from Ron's
I had nothing to do
with
with
the
that.
cherry. That was your idea.
That was not my idea.
It was your birthday.
It was your idea for me to spike that orange soda.
That
one
was
time,
not my
too.
idea either.
Like, don't bite the
That was not
cherry.
your idea.
All right,
Do
man.
you want to do it?
God damn it. Opinions are for
I
assholes.
can't believe you just spun
You're an
that.
asshole.
That's a dick move.
It is a dick move.
Okay, so Ant is going to give us his expert opinion on the cherry popping Hershey Kiss.
The cherry popping.
Cherry
Hershey
popping
Kiss. This is
Hershey
just. There's no way you can make it not sound dirty.
I mean, I'm sure there is.
You want the cherry to pop in your mouth.
So?
I didn't get a lot of cherry.
That's
What?
okay. It's not terrible. It's not overwhelming. It's just not I'm not yearning for it. But I'm like, all right.
Like,
It is what it
I
is.
felt that initial burst, but I didn't feel any cherry.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it kind of made me nervous.
You're going for round two. I didn't like them. I thought they were not their best.
I told you that's why I had to get more than one because I'm like I'm not.
You know
gonna
what's
get
a
it
good
off one.
Hershey Kiss is the caramel one.
Oh yeah, caramel ones are bomb.
We got some chocolate getting delivered tomorrow, which
I'm actually
yeah.
I'm in the minority for this, but I'm actually high. I'm actually a big fan of the peppermint Christmas ones, the white chocolate little peppermint joints.
I used to think I was gonna like the cookies and cream ones, but they just weren't very good.
Not enough cookie or not enough cream.
So I want you to do me a favor. See where it says wait, don't click?
Yeah, you want me to click it?
Now you can click it.
Oh god!
And I just want you.
What
I just
embarrassing thing happened to
nothing.
Spider-Man today? What?
I just want you to take this in for
What?
a moment. And I would like you to tell the people what you're reading and what you're looking at.
All right, so this is the link from ScreenRant.com.
From August
Wolverine-
15th. From August 15th. This is
August
recently.
15th, 2020, by Michael Jung. Wolverine was created to be Marvel's new Spider-Man, which sounds absurd to me because few characters, as it says in the article, few characters are more dissimilar than Spider-Man and Wolverine. Peter Parker's nerdy and insecure, fights crime with jokes and webs. Logan's a grizzled professional who slices through his opponents with adamantium claws. They worked together on many superhero teams and even switched bodies at one point. No one would ever be mistaken for the other. Which is why it's a shocker to learn that when Wolverine first appeared, his co-creator Len Wein thought he should be a superpowered teenager similar to Spider-Man. Before I scroll down on this, I'm also going to say they didn't know what they wanted to do with Wolverine at first. There's a few ideas. At first, his claws were part of the gloves he wore.
Just keep...
So he could take them off. He was also...
It's in the thingy.
At one point, he was also supposed to be a Wolverine that got transformed into a human being.
That's bad. That's a bad one. But the
Yeah.
claws, yeah. The claws
So
were
am I
supposed,
going,
the
like,
claws
no.
were supposed to come out of the gloves like the web shooters.
So Wolverine never took his mask off in his first appearance. People didn't know what he really looked like or how old he was. Wein stated he originally felt Wolverine should be a smart-mouthed teenager with superhuman strength, speed, and agility, much like a certain web-slinging hero.
So I think it's weird. It's like it's a terrible, terrible concept and thought, but it probably could have worked. If they made
he
him
could have been
like,
I mean,
you ever see Stranger Things?
What you're thinking, like Billy?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of see it. Well, I mean, there's talks of him potentially taking over the reins.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, you know what bugs me is that everyone's like Wolverine's the perfect Hugh Jackman, and I'm wow. Hugh Jackman's the perfect Wolverine. I said that completely backwards. But I'm like, nobody else has had the chance. Hugh Jackman's a great actor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's the perfect cast for the role. He's like body type alone, he's completely off the rails.
100%.
Yeah.
They kind of it was like a weird casting. It's like I was reading an article today about how they said James Gunn like nailed the Suicide Squad's look. Like he actually stuck to their
which is like
uniforms.
pretty important. Yeah.
And they were saying how like the X-Men botched it miserably and they put him in like leather because they thought it was going to be attractive to people.
Yeah,
which
I mean the leather does make more sense than the spandex, but like there's something to be said
should have
for
been in their
like,
costumes.
keeping it to the you know who's going to go see the movie. You're comic book fans. You know that for a fact. So what you need to do is find a way to bridge the two. Be like, okay, it's got to feel to both the comic book fans and the regular viewers. You can't completely alienate the comic book fans because that's your base.
Do you think that they could have pulled off the X-Men's true look?
Did you see the ending? It might have been an alternate ending actually of the Wolverine
When they show the
before Logan.
costume?
Yeah, when they show the costume, I think that could have been tweaked. Wolverine's one of those characters that doesn't look good. I think outside of the comic books,
I
like
agree.
just his helmet like mask thing doesn't really make sense to me.
Like
But I think
Cyclops,
other than that, it could have worked.
like Cyclops because I started rewatching the cartoons. He's like jacked in the cartoon. Like he's fucking big.
Yeah, also, like, I don't understand why none of these guys have, like, any kind of, like, body armor or anything at all to protect them.
Cyclops
Like,
kind of does, I think. They don't really go into detail.
he doesn't.
what
He's
he
in,
is.
like, a blue scuba suit, and then he's got, like,
You don't think
yellow
it's armor?
underwear. What?
You don't think it's armor?
I
The
think
blue-
it might
the
be
blue-
supposed to. Like, but what the hell is Jean Grey wearing? Where it's like, she's like, all right, my nipples are protected.
Yeah,
Like,
now it's
I
a
thought
full
she was
outfit.
naked
So
when
did
I
I.
was a kid. Yeah.
So did I. But now I rewatch it now. It's just a skin colored.
Yeah, which, like,
Suit,
was
which
a
is
terrible idea. Like,
Did you watch the X-Men TV shows as a kid?
had the greatest opening to any show of all time.
I don't think it did.
What?
I watched Power Rangers.
Fuck
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
And,
Fuck yeah.
You know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What did you just cross over there?
America.
Yeah, I was gonna
Fuck
say.
yeah.
I was like, that was not the Power Rangers theme. Like,
No,
and
no.
it was so familiar.
It would have. I could have seen. They could have pulled off probably the Wolverine as like a punk kid.
They probably
But-
could have. I am glad they didn't. I like
100%.
Wolverine more as the grizzled, kind of tortured individual. I love the fact that he had his time in Japan. One of my favorite comics ever, actually. I've said this before. I'm a big fan of Secret Invasion. I liked what they did there. At one point, the new Avengers are teamed up, and Wolverine and Spider-Man are both on the team at the time. And they're trying to figure out if anyone in their midst could have been, a Skrull or, what's going on there. They want to see everyone's true form. So Doctor Strange casts a spell that shows everyone their inner self, basically. And it shows Spider-Man, he's still like a nerdy kid, like he still sees himself as that like insecure, like high school, gets beat up all the time kind of guy. And when it went to Wolverine, it showed him basically as a samurai, where that's where he saw himself, that's where he was the most happy kind of thing. So I thought that was cool. Like, you really get to see like what each character kind of valued themselves as.
There's a Mezco figure of the Ronin version of Wolverine.
I'm gonna look that up right
It's
now.
awesome, and it's right now. Unfortunately, I didn't get it when, of course, I lost out on it. Just like I lost out the fucking Punisher PX exclusive, which is now fucking $1,000, which I could have bought for $100. And it's really cool. It's expensive. A guy was selling on Instagram. We were talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, how much?" He was like $400. Like, yeah, fuck you.
Oh no, this is basically exactly how he looked in that. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's really, really cool, and they should make another comic based on that. But I don't think they really stick with it, which I don't understand why. Because they briefly talk about it in, I guess, Enemy of the State. They kind of
Enemy of the State. They touch on it.
which is really, really good. But once again, this is Why Am I Nerd presents Yo It Up Comics, where you can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new issues every Tuesday on your favorite podcast service, and catch new issues every Monday on YouTube at 3 p.m., but now it's just at 12 a.m. at youtube.com/
as fuck.
we only have 50 subscribers, so please help us
Guys,
out.
yeah, please, everyone, please, just try.
It's weird.
Just a little bit.
Even Instagram, I don't fuck social media. Social media sucks.
Whoa. Don't, just hold on. We're trying to get people. We're trying to pull people in.
Oh, I love social media. I think it's great. I think people that write Yelp reviews are amazing human beings. And so on and so forth. But
That Yelp episode of South Park, you've seen that one, right?
the only
I feel like
South
we
Park
discussed
episode
it
I've
before.
ever watched, I've told you this is the Michael Jackson one.
How is that the only one you've ever watched?
Normally, when you watch something entails sitting in front of a television and like going to the actual show.
But you were never
and
like
then,
a kid? Like you were like barely younger than me. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
do
know.
you mean?
growing up as a kid, I watched a lot of Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, but that wasn't on the air all the time. You didn't have it on demand. Like South
Neither
Park
did
was
South
more-
Park.
South Park was super accessible when we were
No, it
younger.
wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was on like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, but it was still like on TV. Like Rocko's Modern Life, I think went off the air when we were like 12, and South Park has been running for like damn near 30 years.
I go to bed now at like 10 o'clock. I was definitely going to bed then like 9:30. So it was way over my time. I think the first mature show I watched was Ghost to Coast, East Coast, Ghost, whatever.
Space Coast,
There you go.
Space
Cartoon
Coast, Coast to
Network,
Coast. Yeah.
That was a weird one. But anyway, Matt, tell us, September 2nd, what can we find at our local
The
comic
new
shops?
releases from the 7. Are we still going with the 7? We're not. We haven't considered that yet?
Just read.
All right, DC, Batman number 98, Justice League 52, Strange Adventures number 5, Shazam number 14, DCeased Dead Planet number 3, Batman, The Adventures Continue number 4, Hellblazer, Rise and Fall number 1. This is apparently a $7 comic book, which is highly excessive. Like, I
Weird.
just bought the last 2 books. I'm sorry, not the last books, but the 2 most recent books for Empire, the Marvel event, and they were $5 each. I was like, that's a little steep. But $7 is like, am I getting jerked off while I'm reading the book? Like, that's a lot.
And they just canceled his series on the Sandman universe.
So, like, what the hell are they doing?
I don't know. I might just go buy this just to see why it's $7.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I kind of do, but yeah, I get what you're saying. We've also got The Dreaming, Waking Hours, number 2. Dollar Comics, Batman, number 663. Are those actually $1? There's also Dollar Comics, Catwoman, number 1 from 2002.
It actually didn't, on the list that I used,
didn't
it didn't give a
specify?
price.
I wonder if they are actually $1. And also, Catwoman number 1, the fact that it's dated 2002 makes me wonder if it's related to the Halle Berry film, because that came out around the same time. From DYNAMYTE, unshockingly, we've got Vampirella number 13 and Red Sonja number 19. We also have Sacred Six number 2, Green Hornet number 2, Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, The Death of Nancy Drew number 4.
You think they're actually gonna kill her?
I mean, it sounds like it, but who knows? She might already be dead.
True.
Also probably never going to read it.
No. I did have the Mars Attacks and Red Sonja in my hand the other day at the
Did you?
comic shop, and I looked through the artwork. I was like, oh, fuck this.
From Image, we've got Monstrous number 30, Die number 13, Ascender number 12, Moonshine number 20, Sea of Stars number 6, Bitter Root number 10, Coffin Bound number 6, Pretty Violent number 9, Inkblot number 1, Lost Soldiers number 2, Sex Criminals, Sexual Gary Special number 1, On the Stump number 5. From IDW, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog number 31, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, 274, Transformers Galaxies number 9, Transformers 84, Secrets and Lies number 3, Wellington number 5, Usagi Yojimbo, Color Classics number 7. My Little Pony and Transformers number 2. We might have to buy that, or at least look at it in the store, because what the
Okay.
fuck? How does that happen?
I can see if I can find the first one.
How does that fucking happen? Like, what could they possibly have in common?
The cover, I think the cover was like a My Little Pony as like a Transformer.
Well, it's like, so Megatron's just like going after the little ponies. Marvel Action Avengers number 5. I still don't understand how that's not a Marvel comic, by the way.
I don't get it either.
From Marvel, we've got Fantastic Four 23, Wolverine number 5, New Mutants number 12, Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 18, Empire number 6, I'm definitely picking that up, Guardians of the Galaxy number 6, Cable number 4, Black Widow number 1, Hawkeye, Freefall number 6, Marvel Zombies, Resurrection number 1. This issue is $6. Jesus Christ.
Oh, real fast before we continue, the tagline for the My Little Pony and Transformers is "Friendship in Disguise." Sorry.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Who was sitting there like, all right. No, actually, it's probably like, all right. What if we combined the Transformers with My Little Pony? That way we could sell comics to kids of both, genders and background. Oh my God, that's not an Optimus Prime Little Pony. Oh, my childhood just got ruined. More than meets the eyes.
What are you singing?
That's the Transformers theme song.
Heard.
We've got Ravencroft number 4, Avengers of the Wastelands number 5, The Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21, Facsimile Edition, Swordmaster number 10, Marvel Tales Captain Britain number 1, True Believers X-Men Mr. Sinister number 1, True Believers X-Men Wild Child number 1. We've also got True Believers X-Men Nanny and Orphan Maker number 1. That sounds like a weird
It does
team.
sound weird. Yeah.
Where Creatures Roam number 8. From Dark Horse. Oh my God, Dark Horse has issues.
They must have heard us last week.
They really did.
They must have heard us. They must have been listening to this podcast. Like, yo, those guys at Why Am I Nerds, those nerds with the mouths.
Yep,
They're like,
they're
yo,
ready.
we're getting booted, getting booted from the 7.
They've got Spy Island number 1, Bang number 3, Alien, the original screenplay number 2, and The Orville number 1. And finally, from Boom Studios, Buffy and the Vampire Slayer number 17, We Only Find Them When They're Dead number 1, and King of Nowhere number 5.
So it's definitely interesting that they're doing.
I'm sorry, I just looked at the title for who asked for this segment.
So it is interesting that Hellblazer is $7. That's still the one thing that blew my mind the most.
Do you
when I was
get?
looking at
Is there
it.
an actual spell in the comic
Dude,
book that
unless
you
it's
can
like
cast?
unless it's like one of those bigger, sometimes
It's
they
gotta
make
be
the
something.
oversized.
Yeah, it's gotta be
$7
But
for
even then,
Hellblazer.
like,
It's Hellblazer.
I don't know what could be happening unless they really are listening to us, and this has something major for all the comics that's just not being implicated right now.
That's
until it gets
actually a
released.
topic later.
Okay.
It's funny you brought that's a topic, but we're gonna move on to who asked for this segment of the week. And you know what? I am not saying anything. So Matt, I will let you pick what it is.
Woo.
And if anybody
Here's
wants to
from-
know what this is this a reference to what we talked about last week? And this is the worst things that Batman has ever done. And you know what? I ain't going to talk shit about my boy. So, Matt, the Who Asked for this segment of the week is your choice.
This comes from Goliath.com. And it's the 15 worst things Batman has ever done.
And you can only
by
pick
Nick
one.
Steinberg.
You can only pick
All right, I'm
one.
gonna read them all off. I'm gonna
No,
pick what
that's
the
not
worst one
fair.
is. That's not fair?
No.
All right, there's 15. 15's pretty bad. 14's really bad. 13's not that bad. It's a little questionable. 12 is whatever. 11's whatever. He kind of deserves it. 10 is not bad at all. I 100% agree with him.
Me too.
9 is pretty questionable. 8 is very questionable.
Come on.
7 is like, okay. 6 is kind of weird. That seems, oh yeah, I remember this one, but that's, whatever. 5, whatever. Nobody cares about Blue Beetle. The original one. 4, okay, sure. No one cares about her either. 3, same shit. 2, whatever.
So it is safe to say,
1,
what I'm getting at here,
correct.
what it's safe to say is Batman really hasn't done anything that's really that bad, if you really break it down. So anyone that talks shit,
Hold on.
everything has a reason.
We're talking about a guy who literally his whole thing is, I'm going to be in the night, in the shadows. No one's going to see me. And it's like, oh, I have a sidekick. I have multiple sidekicks. Wear bright colors and stand right next to me so everyone
What
shoots
number
at
are you picking?
I'm picking number 14, forcing Robin to eat rats.
It's a part of training.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't write it.
Batman didn't have to do that.
No, I mean, nobody asked for this. But
At one point, Batman locks the Boy Wonder, referring to, of course, Robin, in the Batcave without any food to eat but rats. Keep in mind, this moment comes not long after Dick Grayson, who's only 12 years old, and I remember this comic. They mentioned that he's 12 years old multiple times.
I don't remember. I think I have this one. I'm pretty damn sure I
This
have
is the one where
upstairs.
he's constantly like, I'm the goddamn Batman.
Yeah, but
the whole time. And they're like, Dick Grayson, age 12. They say it like constantly. Like Frank Miller was off his rocker when he wrote this shit. I'm sorry.
I need to see what the cover of this one is because All-Star Batman and Robin.
Sorry. So keep in mind, this moment comes not long after Dick Grayson, who was only 12 years old, had just witnessed his parents being shot to death by a hitman and basically kidnapped by Batman from the police and drafted into a war without his permission. Oh, but don't worry, Dick. There's also lots of bats to eat in the Batcave.
Look, it's a part of becoming a man.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, Batman
went through
literally
hell.
did not do that himself.
Batman went. You don't know
when
that.
When did he do it?
You don't know that. You don't know his true origin story. He's a detective.
I would like to explore it on a TV show.
Fuck that. We talked about this last week. You wouldn't watch a freaking show on Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would watch a show on
Okay, I have a
Batman
question.
becoming Batman.
I have a question then. Would you watch a show on Spider-Man, Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man? No.
Is it after he gets bitten by the spider?
It's just a show on Peter Parker.
Is it after he gets bitten by
It's
the
a show
spider?
on Peter Parker about growing up, and then eventually he gets bit, and right when he gets bit, the show ends.
No, I would not watch that show.
Well, then why would you watch the one on Batman?
Because Batman trains to become
Because
Batman.
why?
He trains to become... It's not just
Because
one
why?
thing that happens.
Because he's a badass
It's
son
not-
of a bitch, and he's better than your punk-ass little Ohio State wannabe motherfucker
First
Spider-Man.
First of all, how dare you, sir? How dare you? Spider-Man is a Mets fan?
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Grew up in Queens. If you look in any of the Spider-Man movies, he's got Mets memorabilia in his background. There's been multiple comic books where he's wearing a Mets hat. How dare you, sir? He does not support those fuck eyes. How dare you even bring them up? How dare you?
Yeah, I did that.
Anyway, he would whoop Batman's ass in a fight. I'm
he
sure we're
wouldn't.
going to find this. He would.
No, he would not.
Yes, he would. He
oh my
absolutely
God.
would.
We discussed this.
He absolutely
no,
would.
we mutually agreed on something. And you can't say we did not, because I know it's recorded somewhere.
Random meeting, Spider-Man takes it.
Yes. Planned
if Batman
meeting.
gets prep time, whatever,
Yep,
he
prep
probably
time.
figure something out.
Prep times, Batman wins without a doubt. So think about it.
I'm not gonna say without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
But I'll give Batman
without
the
a
edge.
doubt.
I'll give Batman
without a
the
doubt.
edge.
Then I'm
not
going to
say
give
without a doubt.
Spider-Man the edge if they meet the first time. But I'm not going to say he
It's
wins.
not even a question if they meet the first time.
It doesn't matter. You won't give my man the fucking the
He
win.
doesn't have powers.
It
He got his
doesn't
back
matter.
broken by a fucking roided out dude in his cave.
So
So it never happened to Spider-Man.
got up and got
Gotta be like, someone's here.
Spider-Man got fucking shot with a sleeping dart and was buried by Craven for
Did
fucking
he
like
get out?
For,
Did he get out?
Did Batman
Or did he have
rise?
to-
Did
he have to
Batman
find-
rise? Did the Dark Knight rise?
I'm sorry. Did
the Dark Knight
Spider-Man have
rise?
to find someone
Did the
to
Dark Knight
replace
rise?
him? For someone, Azrael,
No.
take my place.
Did the Dark
I
Knight
didn't know.
rise?
Oh, you're killing
Oh, yeah?
people.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
that
to,
happened.
as soon as I get through my recovery
Yes,
period,
you're right. That
I'll
totally
come
happened.
back and I'll
Liar.
fight you.
You're
Actually,
lying.
and fun
Bullshit.
fact, Batman didn't even beat Azrael in a fight. He didn't beat him head to head. He had to sneak him through a cave and, slither through some tiny little cracks in the cave walls where Azrael got stuck, and that's how Batman beat him.
Still won.
It wasn't even a straight
Still
up
won.
fight. It wasn't even a
Still won.
straight up fight.
Still won.
It's pathetic.
Still won. So is your fucking little spandex swinging fucking spider bitch.
Well, you act like
He's a
Batman doesn't wear
boy.
spandex.
He doesn't. He wears
Yes, he does.
armor.
He wears
It's armor.
In the comics, he
It's
wears
armor.
spandex.
It's armor.
In the comics, it's spandex.
Depends which version.
The one where his dick's out.
His dick's not out. He's actually walking naked through the sewers.
I didn't realize. He's hanging out with Charlie Kelly and Frank Reynolds down there.
Who?
You ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
You asked me this last week and I said no.
Just watch it. It's
I don't
hilarious.
want to.
This guy.
Anyway,
This guy.
Matt, tell us. What's hot off the press of the Planet Bugle? The first one actually doesn't even have a link. We're just going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, the Batman and Suicide Squad talk. So which Batman and Suicide Squad thing are we talking about? Are we talking about the upcoming game?
No, we're talking about the movies.
Okay.
Because the game, you can check out our little talk on ABG. If you want to talk about the game, we can talk about the game. Excuse me. I think that the Suicide Squad game showed nothing, so there's nothing really to talk about.
The trailer looked cool, though. The trailer got me invested in the story, at least.
I mean, the
And the
trailer.
characters.
The trailer is pretty much Sunset Overdrive. The Suicide Squad game takes place in the Arkham universe. The Gotham Knights does not, which is weird because
I didn't see the Gotham Knights trailer. Not yet.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
as far as the Batman trailer, the more I watch it, the more it grows on me.
I agree.
I'm still not sold on. I'm going to call him Robert Pattinson. I'm just not sold on him overall as Batman. But I did love that scene where he just beats the crap out of the guy. I'm like, oh, that's pretty Batman-esque.
yeah. So
like-
I definitely agree. I think that it's growing on me the more I watch it as well. The Batsuit isn't as bad as I thought it was originally.
Same. The leaked pictures looked really bad. The Batmobile I still need to see more of too. But things are progressing. I'm calling myself cautiously pessimistic because DC hasn't given me a reason to believe in them yet. So
This is
could
Earth
be
2.
what changes. Yeah, this could be what changes it. I like the fact that it's going to be tied in with the Gotham PD show. I didn't know that initially. I'm like, that gives me a little bit more
Which is
hope.
supposed to be year one.
Yeah, well, I think that makes a lot of sense, though. Then you get a little peek of Batman here, a little peek of Batman there, and it's not going to be overwhelming. But, if a cop's about to be in a back alley getting shot, Batman's probably going to show up and, do something.
Yeah, I just think they did a bad job with Bruce Wayne's look.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's on Robert Pattinson. I think I still say the most accurate portrayal we were going to get is Ben Affleck, which we're going to get again anyway. So
I don't. I've said before that I do think that George Clooney had the best Bruce Wayne look.
I always say, and I said this before too, George Clooney to me, I look at him and I'm like, that's Iron Man.
I don't see that.
I could 100% see. Did you read any Iron Man comic books prior to Robert Downey Jr. playing him? Because they change his look and personality a little bit. They tweak it. It's not nothing major. But I am very much of the mindset that, the classic Tony Stark would have been very well brought to life by George Clooney.
Interesting. I just don't know why they made him look. I get, first of all, the fact that he's supposed to be, I guess, 26 or probably 28 in this, and Robert Pattinson, he looks young. Don't get me wrong, he looks young,
Yeah, he
but
does look young.
he looks like he should be playing in My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, it's the
eyeshadow.
eye paint, which my buddy Alex brought this up, which shout out to his band 100,000 doing big things right now. I gotta give the plugs, He pointed out that it makes a lot more sense because when Christian Bale or anyone else's Batman, they had the mascara on or whatever, but when they took the mask off, it was immediately gone. He's like, it makes sense that he has the actual eye paint on and it stays on when he takes the mask off. Like it's something he has to do to become Batman. I'm like, that does make sense.
Yeah,
I
but
get behind that.
yeah, but at the same time, you normally don't see Batman's eyes.
There's only one Batman where you haven't seen his eyes.
What do you mean?
There's only one.
No, like in the
person
comics.
Yeah, I'm saying there's only one person who's played Batman on screen that you don't see his eyes.
It would be fucking what's his face, Batfleck.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, in the comics, you don't see his eyes. I don't think you see his eyes in the trailer. Did you see his eyes in the trailer when he had the Batsuit and was beating the shit out of that guy?
I don't know.
I don't
think so.
you see his eyes.
You actually might be right on that.
But I think that the fact, again, I'm okay with him being young Bruce Wayne. I'm just not a fan of how they made his you kind.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to start singing, like, you know.
Yeah, so I guess you kind of see
What's
his
the
eyes.
big song?
You
I
can't
can't
really
think of it.
tell. I guess you can see his eyes. You can. All right, you can see his eyes. They
can see his eyes?
do show his eyes. It's not whited out. You know, like in the
Gotcha.
comics, sometimes it's like white out.
Yeah,
You don't
which
see
is
it at all.
that's. I mean, I think that's the look. I agree with that the most.
I just think that with his Bruce Wayne look, they made it too emo. And you sent me the thing of Spider-Man 3. Like it's
He does. He looks like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
It doesn't.
Like,
Maybe again,
cringy.
I still. So here's my thing. Yeah, he's as Bruce Wayne, right? And I get it that they showed the thing. It says like, "Hey Bruce" or whatever. Like I think the ticket says like the thing from the Riddler actually says Bruce Wayne's name, right? You never see him holding it though, right? And they still everything you see online is red and black. And I understand that Matt from ABG is like, well, it doesn't make sense if he's Terry McGinnis because it's not in the future.
yeah,
but
he's definitely not Terry McGinnis.
you don't know that. You don't know.
Terry, but it's not the Beyond suit. I feel like
doesn't
would've
matter.
been- it matters a little bit.
I mean, none of the bat suits are the bat suit in any other movie. They've always
That's true,
the closest
but
one
the
is
Batman
Bruce.
Beyond
Is
suit's like
it's that
pretty important to the character. Like it gives him enhanced strength. Like it's supposed to be like super futuristic.
right? I mean, I get that, but we don't know. You don't know. I mean, I get that they show this, and granted, it's most likely
Also, his
not
car
Terry.
definitely doesn't fly.
It's most likely not Terry McGinnis by any means,
Yeah.
but just like there's little things I'm still not 100% convinced on. I do think that the character design for the Riddler is really fucking weird.
Let me look him up.
And I do know that they did say that the actor who's playing the Riddler in the new Batman movie, I forget his name. He did say that he was taking inspiration from Heath Ledger's Joker. I read an article where he said he took a lot of information
Interesting.
from it. So it will be interesting to see what they end up doing with that character.
Yeah, because he looks like, I honestly thought he was Ratcatcher.
I thought he
at
was
first in the
Scarecrow.
scene. Yeah, he does look a little Scarecrow-esque. I
So
can see that.
it's interesting. It's an interesting character design.
Oh, Paul Dano.
Sorry, Aunt.
My bad.
I was just
He was moving in.
It came up like as I looked at the picture. It's like Paul Dano.
So I think that I believe that the Batman is going to be better than
Yeah.
people think. I think it's gonna be
Yo,
great.
this kid looks like a fucking nerd. This guy
Yeah.
who's playing him.
I do think it's interesting that again the guys that Batman beats up are definitely Joker henchmen.
100%.
So-
I think he makes an appearance, or at least he's.
And they're doing
into that.
a really good job keeping it quiet who it is.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. Because like,
Do you remember who my prediction is?
who's playing him?
Who we made guesses. Remember there's they are. Remember we read it and it said they're recasting the Joker?
Oh yeah.
Remember we did that breaking
I don't
news?
remember exactly who we said that, but
I said Bill
Hader.
Hader.
I don't know if I could picture Bill Hader doing it. I mean, he's a good actor. I just don't know.
Dude,
if that'd be the guy.
he's got the dead face look.
Hmm.
So, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they bring it in. But I think Batman looks great. I think they did a fantastic job with what's his face as well, the Penguin, who is just going by Oz.
Oswald.
Yeah,
none of them have their official names yet.
What do you mean?
Like none of them are the Riddler or the
Oh, yeah.
Penguin. Because a lot of the one thing I will give Batman is that a lot of his villains are inspired by him. You know what I mean? His presence might do as much damage as it does good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a cool dynamic to explore, when you're looking at some of these villains and characters. So they might not adopt an alter ego until Batman's on the scene. They're like, all right, well, if that guy's Batman, then I'm the Penguin, and I'm the Riddler, and I'm the guy with two
Joker.
faces.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it will be very interesting if this does better than the DC universe that they have right now with Aquaman, Shazam, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What does that do for that Earth? We'll call it
I
Earth.
think
We'll call that Earth. We'll call
that Earth 1.
we'll call
I
Bubblegum
think-
Popcorn 1 Earth 1, and then we'll call the new stuff Earth 2.
I think they're pretty fucked regardless, to be honest with
with
you.
Earth 1?
Yeah.
Or just in
I think
general?
they've made too much of a mess. Like, they've had a couple of hits, they've had a lot of misses, and I think they lost kind of public faith. And I think now they're just like, fuck it, we're just going to put out whatever we put out. Like the fact that there's going to be 3 Batman at once, we brought this up multiple times, I think is a major issue. I think you're going to confuse the majority of people that aren't us, that don't listen to this podcast. So I don't see it being very successful.
What?
But just
Earth 1 or the whole? Oh,
sorry, the Earth 1.
So
I don't see Earth 1 succeeding.
If Earth 2 does great,
They'll keep it separate. They'll keep it totally separate.
Do you think that they'll continue to have? Do you think they'll write off Ben Affleck's Batman in Earth 1 if Earth 2 takes off?
I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to do a crisis type scenario. I mean, they did the same thing with the TV shows to get all the main heroes on the same network and cancel Arrow. So
think about it too.
Who knows?
Yeah, but think about it too. If this Batman one, first of all, do you think it's going to be rated R?
This is going to be rated R?
Do you think it's going to be rated R?
I hope it is.
So do I. So I don't think you can pull this Batman into... I don't think you can take Earth 2 Batman and put him in Earth 1.
Imagine do you think Justice League would have been a successful movie if it was rated R? If the Snyder Cut comes out rated R, which I do not have faith in that movie.
No, absolutely not. I think that movie's shot. That movie's over. That movie should not be made. It shot itself.
They're putting so much money in it because people ask for it, but I'm like, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. You're going to see Darkseid at the end. There's not going to be a big fight with Darkseid that everyone's, for some reason, expecting. It's going to be mostly the same plot. And
they really changed his look.
Oh, Steppenwolf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Darkseid, Steppenwolf. They didn't even it's not even remotely the same.
Well, it's funny because when I first looked at it, I was like, all right, whatever. It's basically the same design. And it wasn't until I saw a still photo that I was like, oh, okay. He looks different, but I'm still not like.
And it's only 4 hours long. It's only 4 1-hour episodes, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and I don't. Pardon me. Excuse me. This beer's getting to me. I don't fully buy into Zack Snyder as a storyteller, as an action movie. Like, sure, I'm 100% in, but as a storyteller, I'm like, all right, bro, get to the point here. Like, what is going on? Yeah,
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But real quick, as for the Suicide Squad, we had said this before. It's pretty much the first time in a while that no, on purpose. Excuse me. Someone has stuck with the actual costumes.
Yeah.
Like they look. Granted, they should have taken away the fucking tattoos on Harley Quinn, but
they couldn't, though.
But her look,
permanent.
Her look does work.
Yeah.
Now she has the right outfit on. She has the red. She has the black.
I agree. She looks. I mean, I think this movie's going to be good. I trust James Gunn. You know what I mean? He's earned enough good faith with me with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a comic book no one gave a shit about.
I agree.
So that's something I think
I just don't.
He can. I give him leeway.
Just take the fucking tattoos off, please.
They're definitely not going.
Please,
they can't. They can't at this point. Because how do you explain that?
The Flashpoint paradox.
Yeah, that's if they do it. They've got to make this Flash movie that's been in development hell for 6 years.
Dude, come on. If they bring the Joker back, we talked about this last week. Every week, if they bring the Joker back into that universe, if they keep Harley Quinn the way she looks, he's gonna have to look like a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
And that's awful.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's not good. I feel bad for Jared Leto because I think he's a great actor, but they gave him shit to work with.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, but only time can tell.
Yeah. So next up, DC unveils 4 new animated films for 2021, including a 2-part Batman The Long Halloween. This is brought to us by sci-fi.com. I'm for that. I mean, I think they're doing a lot of Batman stuff, but all their stuff is pretty good. The first project for next year is going to be Batman Soul of the Dragon, which is wholly original, and it's produced by Bruce Timm, who I think we can all agree basically does no wrong at this point. He's the co-creator of the original Batman series, animated series, from the 90s. It's also from Sam Liu, who did Reign of the Supermen. And apparently Dragon takes place in the 70s and sees Batman facing off against a foe from his past with the help of 3 martial artists, including Richard Dragon, Ben Turner, and Lady Shiva, who is arguably the best martial artist in the DC universe. So that's
Lady Shiva?
Cool. Yeah.
Or Bronze
Tiger. And Ben Turner is Bronze Tiger. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Bronze Tiger is kind of a G, too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. This is kind of like what you described last week as a Batman TV show.
Yeah. This is something I would like. This is something that could have happened in his past that would still be cool to watch. Batman's one of the few characters that I'm okay with him doing an origin series for because he has so much that he learned, so much that he went through that just lends itself to a show. Like if Arrow could do it, Batman sure as fuck can. They'll do it way better.
Yeah, so obviously, real quick as a spoiler, jump ahead if you don't want to hear this. In the end of Apocalypse War, they do another Flashpoint paradox, pretty much wipes out the thing. So, Superman Man of Tomorrow did come out last Sunday. I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but the weird thing about this is, so because they're doing Soul of the Dragon in the 70s, if that means, okay, so if Batman is in his earlier age, so he's 26, but somewhere between 26 and 28, right? Let's say. If they end up jumping ahead to, like, modern day, now he's 60, which is kind of wonky, I guess.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a super jive-talking disco.
That'll be interesting, because they're also doing Justice Society World War II, which Justice Society, if you don't know who Justice Society is, go watch. I'm assuming they're going to call it the same as in Stargirl.
Wait, was that? Oh, never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking something totally different.
Justice Society of America. I think it's the same group. It'll be interesting to see who they do for that. And then the fact that this is where it goes is that they're going to do the Long Halloween. So if this is a part of the same new DC animated universe, if this is their reboot, I think they're already off to a bad start, because I think the Long Halloween just needs to be its own story and keep it as is. And the fact that we don't know when Man of Tomorrow takes place, we haven't watched it yet.
But
so
it looks like trash. Although, to be fair, Spectacular Spider-Man is one of my favorite Spider-Man interpretations, and I had a very big issue with the artwork in that going into it. And then I watched the show, I was like, this is actually really good. Fair. So it could end up being good. Sometimes when you see a drop in production quality, it ends up being because, it's cheaper to animate, so they can do a lot more tricks and things like that. I don't know for this, though. Yeah,
I mean, I think that The Long Halloween is long overdue, and I think it's really great, but I just hope...
sorry, I was talking about the Superman.
Oh, no. I know exactly what you're saying. It's just, I really hope that... Because, again, when they were doing the DC Animated Universe, the 15 movies, they were throwing in, like, random movies that were not a part of the storyline.
Yeah, that just
they did like, a Justice League Dark thing that wasn't involved.
It's just crazy to me, though, because I'm like, how do you... I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no.
How do you do this for your animated series, but you have zero direction, zero consistency for your live-action movies, which take a considerable greater amount of time and money to complete?
I mean, we did say that the animated universe does wonders over...
It's crazy.
So don't shoot themselves in the foot. Are they... But you had all those layoffs.
It's true.
It's true. I just hope that they don't do a Killing Joke issue with The Long Halloween when they add, like, this fucking 40-minute backstory about some bullshit. Remember that time
that, Batman plowed Batgirl on top of a building?
Yeah, like, it didn't make any bit of sense because... in The Long Halloween, obviously, the killer is Holiday.
Whoa, spoilers.
Well, you don't know who he is.
Oh, true.
Well, I'm not gonna say who it is, but that's what they named the killer in, and it's good. It's a good story, which is weird. Why? I don't get why they just don't. Hopefully they stick with it.
Yeah,
and they stick with the actual story. But again, please don't fuck up your goddamn DC animated universe, because it's so fucking good.
It's so good.
And don't do anything stupid, but I don't know.
Speaking of stupid things that are probably going to happen.
Yeah, this is weird. This is weird.
This comes to us from CBR.com. Avengers, every Marvel hero who could be the next Phoenix explained. So I was unaware that there is going to be someone new to possess the Phoenix Force, because as far as I was concerned, that was always Jean Grey's thing. But while Marvel's Empire event is in full swing, the publisher has announced the Avengers' next adventure, Enter the Phoenix. The Phoenix Force is back in a big way, shocker, and Marvel gave a sneak peek of the next Phoenix through a series of variant covers. Each one of the Marvel icons makes an interesting case to receive the comic force's fiery gifts. Whoever gets them will instantly become one of the most powerful beings in the entire Marvel universe. Now we're taking a closer look at each of these candidates to see why they might be next in line to wield the Phoenix Force. So what I'm predicting we're going to do right now is go through this list and give yeses or nos and whys for some of them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Captain America, no.
Nope.
It's just not. It's not a Captain America thing.
It doesn't make any logical sense.
It doesn't. It's not his style. I feel like he would deny it.
That would be like giving Batman the Green Lantern ring.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Well, I mean, he has it. It does make sense, theoretically, for Batman to have a Green Lantern ring.
No, but you using it.
Well, I was gonna say Batman, though, in my opinion, I think deserves almost every iteration of the Green Lantern, of the Lantern rings, because it's like I'd have to look up the colors, but he's obviously deserving of Will.
What are the colors of the Green Lantern's rings?
Of all the Lantern rings, sorry.
All the Lantern rings.
But I know there's Will is obviously the Green Lanterns. There's Fear as the Yellow Lanterns. There's Rage as the Red Lanterns. There's Hope as the Blue Lanterns. Those four alone, he absolutely does. He doesn't really fit Avarice or Love, which is orange and purple respectively, or maybe pink. I don't remember what indigo is.
I don't know anything about.
But Batman fits the description of a lot.
You got it?
Rings.
Yes.
What do you got?
Red. Oh, do you just want the colors?
No, just name
The colors and whatever they represent.
Red is rage. Orange is greed. Yellow fear. Green willpower. Blue hope. Indigo compassion. And violet love.
Wait, what was orange?
Greed.
Orange is greed.
Avarice, greed, same thing. So like he fits all those, I'd say, except for like avarice, and you could argue love because he clearly loves Gotham. He loved his parents. That's like the drive there.
He loves Catwoman. Let's be honest.
He loves Catwoman. He just loves exotic women apparently.
Yeah,
because
Talia.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's 7 rings.
7.
And there's also life and death, but they like whatever.
So are the 7 rings based off of? You ever seen the movie 7 with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman?
That's off the 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah, are the rings based on that?
The rings are off the emotional spectrum.
Okay.
Which is kind of bullshit because willpower is not an emotion, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just 3 evil and 3 good.
What's this? What's the
The evil would be
what's
rage,
the neutral?
Fear.
Anchored by the neutral green in the middle.
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Oh, sorry, that's true. Yeah, my bad. I missed that. So, sorry. So, going back to this, the other candidate is Black Panther.
No.
Which I don't see just because Black Panther has a pretty personal relationship with Bast, who's the Panther God, and I feel like the Panther God would take that pretty personally.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. There's Namor. This one, no, but this makes sense because he possessed it in the past.
No.
He was part of the Phoenix Five.
I don't know much about him, but no.
He had it before.
That doesn't mean you should have it now.
I'm just saying it would make sense for it to go back to him.
I don't know.
Also, I would love to see Namor in the movies. I hope they cast him.
But he's like fucking. Yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
Oh my god, I would love this if Doctor Doom got the Phoenix Force.
That's
Speaking of,
the only one of this list I think should get it.
I might start.
The last
playing,
one's She-Hulk.
I might start playing Fortnite. By the way, because there's
the Marvel event.
Yeah, well, if I can play as Doctor Doom, like I don't even give a shit about Fortnite. I will just play as Doctor Doom.
The last one's She-Hulk, so no. But yes,
She-Hulk's a hard no.
Let's stay on this Doctor Doom thing because this is what I was hoping we would both agree on. I think.
You realize Doctor Doom, my second favorite comic book character after Spider-Man. I love Doctor Doom.
I think giving him the Phoenix Force would give Marvel the big baddie that they've been missing for a very, very long time.
And Doom's already on that level. Like Doom is a constant threat. Like this fits his MO though.
Like you could say if he gets the Phoenix Force, they make him the big baddie. He's probably better than Thanos.
Yeah.
You know, and
the Phoenix can eat suns. Doom's bent thousands, I feel like, to his will, including gods. Like this would be huge. Oh my god!
He'd be ahead of Ultron by a long shot.
He'd be ahead of
Thanos.
I think the only person give him a run for his money would be like Galactus.
I was gonna say he'd be ahead of him.
Galactus can eat
it's
almost Phoenix can eat suns. So yeah, that's.
I think that would be really, really cool if they did that. But I don't know how they're going to actually.
That would be, oh my god, I would be so all in for that. I hope they don't fuck that up. I hope it is Doctor Doom and they don't fuck it up.
The problem is they should, if they then were to bring that though into the movies, it might be a little.
It would make sense for having a reason for the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers to join forces, though.
Yeah,
like that would be the perfect way for all of them because it's an Avengers level threat. A.
Mm-hmm.
B, it's the Fantastic Four's main nemesis, and C, the Phoenix is a main nemesis of the X-Men. So it would be a great reason for all those teams to combine.
But the Phoenix is like a weird villain of the X-Men.
It's more of an entity than a villain, yeah, where it's come to their aid as much times as it's been against them.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing, but no, I think it would be really cool if Doctor. I would again. I'm not the Marvel guy at this table. You are.
Yeah. If it's She-Hulk, I'm going to be real fucking pissed.
That's like if if it's anybody other than if it's She-Hulk or if it's
Captain America.
Even
Black Panther, I'd be very disappointed.
It's a
by,
nail
like,
in the coffin for Marvel, and they need a reboot.
Yeah.
They need
much.
a fucking
like,
hard.
Doom,
Someone needs to.
Doom is the clear answer there.
Yes.
Like it is. He is the clear answer, and it would be epic for so many reasons.
The
like,
worst would be Captain America.
I might argue She-Hulk would be worse than Captain America because there's nothing about She-Hulk to me that's like interesting as a character. It would be just some like whatever. We're just gonna throw this on here. I personally think they should keep it as Captain America might be interesting because it's corrupting influence versus his, his stoic honor and willpower would be kind of an interesting,
I just don't think it works. It just doesn't make sense to the character's origin, to how he's been portrayed since he originated in whenever the hell when was Captain America first created? Maybe in the
1940s,
years of the 40s. I was gonna say like the 60s.
No, he punched Hitler during World War II.
It just doesn't. Yeah, but was he around? He was created in the 40s. We did this thing. He
was created in the 40s as like World War II propaganda. Punched Hitler in the face, fell into the ice, didn't die, but was forgotten about for a while. Then Stanley basically resurrected him during a run on Avengers, where the Avengers team found him, and then he became the leader.
I just feel like it would be a slap in the face to anybody that's a really big Captain America fan.
Yeah, I agree.
It just doesn't.
41.
41. Okay. I was
Especially
way off.
friend of the show, Sean the Finns dude, is a massive Captain America fan.
Is he?
Yeah, so I feel like he would be very upset. He listens regularly, so I'll wait for him to comment on this and let me know exactly what he thinks.
Yeah, I think that would be bad. You know what I got to say too? Obviously, this show is gonna run over tonight, but whatever. I feel like the past two shows that have ran over, there actually been shit to talk about that like we actually are investing in.
Yeah.
I felt like we had a couple episodes there where we're like, oh, there's nothing happening. Like, what are we gonna fucking do? And now it's like, okay, because going into the next thing, which is you haven't read it yet, but the Batman 3 Jokers is fucking so good.
Yeah, I want to borrow it from you once you're done with it.
Like, oh God, like where have you been?
Isn't it great? Like, can we talk about that? I love that feeling when you finally get into a book and you sink your teeth into it. You're like, oh, like
Yes.
it's just well written.
It's been a
the
really
artwork's
long
good,
time.
and you're just enjoying the fuck out of it. It happens so rarely now. I feel
It
like
does.
it used to happen all the time, but now it's just like, all right, like
It's just so it's fucking awesome how they did it. I tell you, my only gripe that they did weird was when they introduced the 3 Jokers. It's the criminal, the clown, and the comedian. The criminal and the clown, you can't really tell them apart at first until something happens and you're like, okay, that was obviously this one. So they kind of did that little wonky, but it's just, oh God, oh man, you fucking dirty ass girl. Fuck, man.
Now we know what gets Cameron going.
It's so good.
Do you need like a paper towel or something?
Dude, I need a fucking real towel.
Steph.
Yeah.
It's fucking so good. And the thing that sucks is it's only three issues, which
One for each Joker?
if I'm gonna guess yes. But the problem I'm gonna have is if this article is real, and what the headline here is, which is 3 Jokers ending will have a massive effect on the DCU if DC allows it, they shouldn't allow it. They need to separate the two of them. They need to keep this in the Black Label, and they need their fucking, you know what I mean? Like, okay,
yeah, because
hold on. So you have the Black Label, and you have the regular DC, DC Comics. The DC Comics regular, it's kind of like the best I could put it is it's like bubblegum popcorn movies.
Yeah.
It's flashy. When the
Yeah, you did actually. Cam needs some paper towels and another Samuel Adams Jacko pumpkin ale. Okay.
Hey, Steph. No. Steph, can you get Matt another Jacko Sam Adams pump? It's for Matt, not me.
It is for me. It actually is for me.
It's for me. It's for him. I'll take a Shipyard.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Anyway, I don't think they should allow it because I think if the Black Label, it's dark. It makes sense. It's a darker. When you read this, you're gonna be like, it does not make sense.
Well, but also,
you can't do it.
Didn't Batman find out there were 3 different Jokers like 4 years ago at this point? Wasn't it like forever ago when he was sitting in like the Metron chair and like he had like he was like the
I
god of
can't
information or
accurately
something.
answer
But it
that.
was a while ago. I don't even know. I would ask Ant to look it up, but I actually don't know what to tell you to search because I don't know
When
what
did
that
Batman
was in.
figure out there's 3 Jokers? I guess.
Oh, you could search that.
But
But it's like I feel like it's not going to give you a clear answer online. So I apologize if it's a wild goose chase.
But this is just like it's good. It's gritty.
Doesn't make sense
It's
you can catch
fucking.
wild geese.
It just it doesn't. This should affect the Black Label. It shouldn't affect the regular DC comics
Right.
because you
I
already
agree.
have again Joker War right now. I'll go on the record as saying it. It's not good. It's just not like this blows it out of the water. Like if you're writing the Joker War, you should just fucking end it. Like
just be like,
just
we're done.
be like, all right, this is so fucking good. And
I think I found something.
oh shit.
what'd you get?
Well, you were talking about Metron's Mobius chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here, way back in the end of 2016's Darkseid War arc during pre-Rebirth Justice League, Jesus Christ, Justice League.
Wait, pre-rebirth?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This was 4 years ago.
I have
this came out.
I have
was right
I have
about that,
Darkseid
actually.
War
It
upstairs.
says Batman sat in Metron's Mobius chair, which gave him the ability to know anything there was to know in the universe. So we asked it who the Joker really was. The answer shocked him. The chair told him that there were 3 clowns.
And they explain him here. And they do meet
That's
right
the thing,
away.
but why did it take them 4 years to do this?
But if you think about it now, hold on. If you think about it now, us as comic book readers, especially me being like a Batman guy, and that's what I read, I probably should have picked up on it earlier.
What do you mean?
Like, just their personas. Like, I understand.
I don't think they've been doing it on purpose for that. Like, if they
I
had,
do.
imagine if they've been doing this on purpose for years, I'd be all in for it. But I think a lot of times, you know, people when they're writing stuff are just like, oh, this would be a cool idea. We can kind of, you know, retrofit. Wow, why am I just losing the word?
No, you're good.
No, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When they go back, there's a word for it.
But they do it in
And I
this.
can't think of it.
They
Oh,
hint.
it's gonna bug the crap
They
out of me.
hint at this that they've been preparing this. Do I think they've been preparing it since the date that they originally referenced? Fuck no. They're not going back to the 60s and being like, oh my god, like we have this
Yeah,
great
there's
idea.
been 3
that-
the whole time. Could
yeah.
you imagine? I mean, if they did that for like over
But they do.
half a century.
They explain it well when they kind of give the origin of it. I'm not going to spoil that book for anybody because we'll do an episode or a feature comic on that series once it's done. But it is really good, and I just don't think it should affect. I think they need to keep them separate, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you already have fucking 5 Batman stories going on. You got Batman Grave, you got Batman the Outlaws, you got fucking Dark Knight Death Metal, you have regular Batman, you got Detective Comics. Like
so much.
Slow down.
It's too much.
Like, and it's cool. What I like what they're doing with the Black Label is the fact that okay, so you had the White Knight, which was the Joker is like the hero.
Yeah.
And then they did Batman Damned, and then that kind of ended. They did Batman All-Star Batman, which was I think technically the regular, but it was really fucking good. And it was he was trying to get Two-Face to I forget what he was trying. He's trying to bring Two-Face. It's like one of those things with like a bounty on his head and he has to escape it. But
Gotcha.
I would love if they kept this separate, and I think they need to keep it separate.
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
you know, it's just a really great book, and it needs to be read by everybody, especially if you are a Batman fan. So,
Word. Damn, we still got one more. Comic book fan theories. This comes to us from whatculture.com. These are 10 comics fan theories rejected by the creators.
so these have actually been rejected, but I just wanted to go over them because some of them are really fucking wonky, and I don't. Yes, exactly.
Superman was created with a sand duplicate. That's dumb. I don't care what the background is. That's dumb.
Joker is a god.
That's an interesting one. Like, who is it? Oh, his name was Jelos, the god
Oh, here
of
it is.
laughter.
Here it is. This talks about it. The Mobius chair. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Bounds
do you wanna-
learn that
yeah,
there's
I'll
some
give you this
Jokers.
one.
I don't. I mean,
Oh, you're
obviously,
not gonna read what it says?
dude. You know how I do about reading.
During the Darkseid War saga, Batman found the Mobius chair, as Ant just revealed to us, a device that contains all the information of the universe. When he asked, told him there were 3 Jokers. It's explored right now in the miniseries 3 Jokers, but there are some readers who believe they already know Joker's identity. He's the Greek god of laughter, Gelos. Or Gelos. I don't speak Greek. I'm lucky I can say, like, you know, I don't even know. So where did this idea come from? Well, after Batman found the Mobius chair, Wonder Woman discussed how her mother hated Jelos more than any other god due to his habit of cackling hysterically while he slayed women and children. While she is saying this, an image of the Joker appears, seemingly cementing this hypothesis. Actually, I don't hate that.
No, I don't either. I think it could work, but it doesn't make if the Joker was like a Wonder Woman villain, okay, fine. But Batman,
I mean, it would make sense for why Joker keeps coming back. Like for someone a relatively frail, normally like Joker's never described as jacked. Like he's taking beatings from Batman on a regular basis, and he's just like, yo, what's up? It's me.
I mean, I think it's a cool thought, but it doesn't work for me. I think keep him as a fucking lunatic and move on. The next one, they hinted at this a lot in the show.
This pisses me off because they hinted at it more in the movies than anything else.
Dude, they hinted in the first episode or the right when you meet Wolverine in the Sabretooth.
They don't hint that they're related.
Dude, rewatch the third episode of the X-Men cartoon.
What do they say? That's the one where they're in Alaska, right?
It's the one when
with the Inuits. Yeah,
it's the one when they kidnap Sabretooth. He like gets beat up or something like that.
Oh,
and he's in there.
And Wolverine's like, you shouldn't be in here, Chuck. Yeah, I remember that. That's my Wolverine impression.
I don't mind this one. I think it made sense.
I don't
Obviously,
think they should be related. I think they have similar
but
powers, but they shouldn't be related because them having similar powers makes sense for why they'd both be recruited by the army and they have an antagonistic relationship. I think them being related kind of cheapens it, and I didn't love it when they introduced it for the first time in X-Men Origins, but like it's acceptable. I just don't like it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I looked up the pronunciation of the Greek god of laughter.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like it says jealous.
All right.
Fair enough. So we can just skim through a couple. We don't have to talk about it.
I don't believe number 7. J. Jonah Jameson did not always know Peter Parker was Spider-Man because J. Jonah Jameson at his heart is a good person. If he knew it was Peter Parker, he would not have gone on his anti-Spider-Man crusade. So I'll take on to the next from that. Kyle Rayner created the New 52.
It wasn't. It was what's his face?
Who?
Oh no. What the fuck's his name? Created I think Rebirth or who? Yeah. Mr. Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan.
Interesting.
Creates it. They confirm that.
Put it Justin and Captain in trouble
This is
for a
just
couple. I don't care. Whatever. That's fine.
Doesn't really matter.
What you do with your own butt is your own business. The Flash was replaced with an imposter. Sure. Whatever. Who cares? Lex Luthor is a time traveler. I don't buy that.
Me neither. It's really, I mean, obviously, again, this is all debunked, but just the fact that that was even an option didn't really make logical sense. So Galactus is a god. That makes sense to me. I don't understand how they even
I don't
killed
really
that.
see how he's not.
Yeah, I mean, it 100% presents.
Like if Thor's a god,
sense.
why couldn't Galactus be?
And I think number one is
number one. I 100% agree with. I think that's why it should not be canon because I think Batman does kind of snap at the end and kill the Joker. It's number one is Batman killed the Joker in the Killing Joke. I agree with that.
I do too. I mean, it will be again. They debunked. They said it never happened, but it will always be a theory. Whether you agree on it or not, or whether or not they say it never happened. Everybody talks about that. Yeah. Does he kill it? If you talk anybody,
that's the whole point. But I think he does. I think the whole point is that it's. I mean, granted, like we said, it's open to interpretation. But I really believe that Batman was just like, you know what, I'm done with you. You've done too much. You've crossed the line this time. Even though you've crossed the line a million times before. I mean, Joker does some fucked up things. At one point in Arkham Knight, he talks about like how he broke into like a church and replaced all the holy water with acid, and then he's like, "Yeah, that was one hell of a baptism." I'm like, that's really fucked up. So Joker's an asshole.
That's some Garth Ennis shit.
Yeah, that honestly really is.
Which, speaking of Garth Ennis, before we get into the boys, let's get a quick word from our sponsor.
Why Am I a Nerd podcast network has been brought to you by our sponsor, Me Moms. The best breakfast and lunch down the Jersey Shore with 3 great locations in Wall Township, Middletown, and Brick, New Jersey. Me Mom specializes in unique and fun takes on your traditional lunch and breakfast items. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find more information at www.memoms.com.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we're at the feature comic of the week, which we're going to try to blow through this because we're trying to blow through this series because this series is
so it's The Boys
going,
volumes 5 and 6. First issue came out October 2008. Well, not the first issue, but the first
Volume 5.
Volume 5, thank you. And Volume 6 was July of 2009. Written by Garth Ennis, inked by Derek Robinson or Derek Robinson.
These did, I will say real quick, they started to pick up a little bit of steam.
They did. They're getting a little bit better. There's a lot less filler, I guess you could say,
And less like parodies.
Yeah. So we went through Herogasm, which is basically the heroes have an excuse. Like, every year in comics, there's a big event, and this is their excuse for that. They're like, oh, there's a space invasion. We got to go fight all the aliens outside. But really, they're just on an island banging the entire time. It's all the superhero teams. There's a ripoff of Fantastic Four that makes an appearance. And they're doing filthy things together. Drugs, drinking, sex, all that.
Is that all these books are about?
Basically.
Fucking yes.
Yeah, there's explicit fucking in every single book. Like, I don't know if Garth Ennis is just not getting any, or if he's got like a porn thing.
The weird thing about and then the weird part about this book is you have Captain America, the Captain America knockoff, who's what's his name?
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, who's
and Homelander
are in the bed together.
Yeah.
And Homelander's like, yeah, it's okay. Like you're like,
and Soldier Boy's like, did what we just do is that gay? And Homelander's like, no, it's whatever. He basically gives him the Robert Downey Jr. treatment from Tropic Thunder. He's like, nah, it's Hollywood. Everyone's a little gay sometimes.
Yeah, it was weird, and it was like so unnecessary.
And then there's the follow up at the end where he's like, hey, are we gonna hang out? And Homelander's like, no. I'll see you next year.
And then Homelander blows up an airplane. For no whatever reason.
But he was going to make an announcement about that. Like, it was Homelander is clearly trying to break free from Vought American. Mm-hmm. But the Vought guy is so, like, keen and on his shit that he's, able to ascertain what's going on and kind of intercedes before Homelander can really take all the superhumans under his control. So something is brewing under the surface here, and that's an interesting storyline.
They touch it more on later in the next volume.
When you say they touch it more, the funny thing is, I don't know if you mean the story or the sex, because that's all this book's been about.
The reason, like, you see him start to kind of go off the rails. And I thought Herogasm was really unnecessary. It was like I get the parodies, and I get what they're trying to do, but like, come on, dude. Like, it was just like ridiculous. And like the thing with Soldier Boy is like he's supposed to be Captain America, you could say, right?
Yeah. Well, because Payback is supposed to be the Avengers avenge Payback.
But he's like a bitch.
Yeah.
Like in every way.
Yeah, and we'll get into that more with the sixth part of this.
Yeah.
But he hasn't quite had the Captain America vibe, which again I think is part of Enos's point, is that he's saying like the comic books, what is it, Victory Comics, that's more of the way they're supposed to be, the way we know them. And then in real life he's saying they'd be shitty people.
Which is weird that they use the word Victory Comics, because wasn't Victory Comics a real thing?
Possibly.
Or was it Valiant?
Valiant was.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of Valiant, not Victory. Victory was a record label.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a weird. I felt like Herogasm was kind of a filler, but it actually progressed the story forward.
Yeah,
like you couldn't skip it.
You definitely didn't see it coming.
But you couldn't skip it.
Yeah, you couldn't skip it either. It's pretty important, I think, for a lot of the characters. And like you kind of see some progression there with Starlight. You just feel bad for this girl the whole book.
Yeah.
Like she just gets put in such a bad spot, and it progresses more with Volume 6, the Self-Preservation Society, which is where the heroes finally, the superhuman community, I should say, or technically Vought American, decides they're finally going to fight back against the boys. And they send Payback, who's appropriately named, they're the ripoff of the Avengers, to go and do that. But, the boys don't go down easy.
No.
And one thing I will comment here, the female should have died. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, she's getting railed in the face by this, what do we call Stormfront? Is he?
I don't think he's Thor.
He's reminiscent of Thor. He might be Thor combined with someone else, but he's dumb strong, and he's literally punching her in the face a lot after she rips his eye out. Spoilers, sorry. And like she's just taking it, and she's in a coma for a little bit, and then totally
she wakes up because of candy.
Yeah.
And I thought it was I guess here's the issue that I have with this. The issue I'm starting to have with this series. Obviously, it's over. Well, they now have Dear Betty going on, which is I'm assuming is like the little side stories like they have like Gladio, whatever the hell thing was called. But it's like so predictable. They they bring a group in. The boys have to fight the group. The boys kill the group. We're on to the next story. They bring another group in. They fight another group. They win. Like there's no element of surprise to this.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit formulaic, and I think what is making it interesting is kind of this Homelander and Vaughn American understory, where the undertones of that are interesting and have huge implications, but we're not getting enough of it. So really, I hope this kind of wraps up soon, because while it is a good book, it's not necessarily an enjoyable read. If you're looking for something to binge through, it's a little bit too wordy, and there's a lot of translations that need to be done, which we've said, this entire time. So I'm hoping we can bang out the 2 compendiums quickly. There's 3 compendiums. Jesus Christ!
But they're small. They're small. They're like the size of these 2 books together. So It's like it's pretty much just 10 comics in each compendium.
Yeah,
and then
we have 30 actual
30 actual issues and the other side stories if you want. They did bring the side stories into this one, which you probably could have skipped over. But we ended up reading anyway, which is the origin stories of Mother's Milk, the Frenchie. The Frenchman and the female.
Yeah.
And Mother's Milk,
story's fucked up.
you couldn't have came up with a better idea than a guy that's just obsessed with sucking on his mother's titties.
It's not that he's obsessed with it. He literally needs it to live.
Yeah.
He's not obsessed. He's just like,
And he's
I
still
will die
and
otherwise.
he must have his mother's I don't know if that happens in this book or not. When he's talking to Hugh and he was like, "Do you still need the milk?"
And he's like, "I'm not talking about that."
Yeah. So does he and then okay.
Something happens later that I don't even know about.
I'm blending the volumes together because again I'm reading the other one right now.
Yeah,
and I'm trying
Cam's
to
ahead of me for everyone following along at home.
Yeah.
Cam's a solid
I'm just one
group of books.
Yeah, I'm just one volume ahead, but I'll have that.
Thank you, volume. That's what I was looking for.
But it's like his origin story was the one that was like definitely the most like, dude, really couldn't think of something better. The Frenchman's was kind of cool.
I feel like some of Mother's Milk story is a little sad. Like you do feel a little bit bad for him.
Yeah.
I think Frenchman's is like okay.
I said he's like the Punisher.
Yeah, I don't really get what his dad was doing or why he died.
Oh,
So it's like his dad.
He's like breaks his neck.
Yeah, but his dad's going against the rival. They're riding and they have
hard and stale bread.
Yeah, and they're trying to, I guess, knock each other off their bikes for honor. But somehow Frenchie's rival, who he refuses to fight, that his father takes up to fight for him, takes a stale croissant and puts it in the spokes of the bike, and that kills his dad, which is like
the dad flies
stupid.
over the handlebars. And
which is like kind of because like how the fuck are you doing that? Like you got the thing and you just magically like lean forward and say like.
Yeah, and he's pretty much doing it because the Frenchman comes back and his like girlfriend is stolen by
his girlfriend, stolen by his rival.
Yeah, and then the dad's like pretty much be like, "Don't be a bitch," and the Frenchman's like, "I've seen everything. Like I'm good. Like I did all this shit in the war." And then the female's backstory is a little weird too.
Her mom was basically an absentee who like lucked her way up the corporate ladder, I guess. Like she was like a super successful secretary, if you can be that, despite being really dumb. And instead of paying for healthcare, just kept her child under a desk. The female gets out, gets into some chemical V. What do they call it? The
Compound V.
Thank you, Compound V. Gets into that, and then has a penchant for ripping faces off, and eventually grows into the woman we know and love. But then she gets taken in kind of by Frenchie and raised, for lack of a better word. It's pretty much her backstory.
And they don't really explain why she's mute, I don't think. Except that
she never really
learned to talk.
Yeah, she went so long without
that's
speaking.
That's different, though, than in the book, in the show.
In the show.
Doesn't she not have a tongue?
I don't think she talks.
She doesn't.
No, I don't. I think she has a tongue, though. I don't know.
I thought she didn't have a tongue.
She might have a tongue. I don't know. I feel like they're going to do something for dramatic effect later.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch that. Who knows? They could find out that she doesn't have a tongue in this. She never says anything.
Or it could grow back from the
except
which Huey doesn't take Compound V in the show, which is pretty interesting. I don't think any of them take Compound V in the show.
In the show? They already have it. I thought. No, they do.
I don't think they do. I think it's been a while since I watched it.
I think they all take it together.
And can you double check for us if they take Compound V in the boys show?
I thought they did. Man. Damn, bro, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I think they did. But anyway, as for the boys, We're almost done. We're getting there. We're getting there for you people. We're doing it for you so you don't have to do it. We're doing it. But let's move on to our last segment. None other than the Shenanigans Engine.
That is facts. So this week's Shenanigans Engine is actually not so much of an engine, just more of a Shenanigans character. It's the Watcher, Uatu. Because, like, what the fuck? This guy's apparently ultra powerful, but his entire race is subject to just sitting there like, oh, no, we're just going to watch things. We're going to take notes. Which, like, honestly, what the fuck is the point? What are you taking notes for? Like, who are you going to share this with? What are you going to do, a presentation?
Deadpool kills him.
Yeah, he was. Because he shows up in before all the big events, Uatu shows up. And all the Avengers, Fantastic Four, like Spider-Man even, they all know who he is. They know what he's about. And there's like, oh, something big's about to happen because Uatu's here. I'm like, bro, like, get off your ass. All the Watchers need to stop sitting there watching shit, just be like, yo, something big's about to go down, like, heads up. Because what is the point in just watching in the background, taking notes with your giant-ass head? It also doesn't make sense.
There you go. The Watcher. Ant, got anything?
Yeah, you want to know why they don't take it?
They don't take it in the show?
No.
I didn't think so, yeah.
It's saying, oh, what the hell? Just says that in the show, Homelander states that compound V injections in adults is very difficult, very messy, and there's a good reason that Vought doesn't do it. So they can't, Butcher and the boys can't use it at a risk of killing themselves.
Interesting.
That's a big change from the book.
It is, because that's the reason they're able to kind of stand their ground so much. But I think it makes them more sympathetic characters when you're watching the show. Because, like, they almost got their ass kicked by Translucent in, like, the first or second episode.
I had to rewatch. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Translucent's a cool character, too.
When he beats Huey up in the fucking...
the whatever shop that is.
The
AV
convenience shop.
Yeah.
All right, one last time. This is Why Am I Nerd presents Yo What Up Comics. You can
Goddamn
follow
right.
us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new issues every Tuesday on your favorite podcast service, or catch new issues a day earlier on Mondays at YouTube.com/non-verified person us.
Gobbledygook, weird letters and shit because we're not verified. Like, subscribe. Stop making me say subscribe. It's really hard to do. Subscribe.
We're Nerds with the Mouse. I'm Cameron James.
And I'm Matt.
Till next time.
We're out.